It's April 4th, 2019. It's a day off for me. I'm finna get ready to head to an event to meet some friends at. And before I go, I pregame. I'm pregaming at the apartment by myself, chilling, smoking a little cannabis. I get dressed, make sure I got everything I need before I walk out the door.
Welcome to the Wheel With It podcast with your host, Devon. Let's get into the episode.
Hi, I'm Doug Katz, inventor of the Nulu kitchen knife. The Nulu is uniquely shaped to work in harmony with the human body, greatly reducing the strain on muscles and joints common with traditional knives. Not only is the Nulu ergonomic, it's incredibly versatile. This knife is the kitchen MVP. Visit us at nuluknives.com, that's N-U-L-U knives.com, to see this extraordinary knife in action and understand why we say Nulu is the knife that adapts to you.
Welcome to another episode of Wheel With It, and today I have Chancellor Jackson, and he has got like a crazy, wild, insane story that I'm gonna let him tell you. So how are you today, Chancellor? Thank you for being here.
Hey, I appreciate you for having me, Devin. A big shout out to you, everybody that's tuning in right now and listening. Hey, big shout out to y'all. Y'all real MVPs.
Yes, I always got to shout out the listeners. So tell us a little bit about yourself and this crazy, wild story you have, and then we'll get into it.
Yes, my name is Chancellor K. Jackson, born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. Played football good portion of my life, so that's a huge component to me as an individual. I played it throughout high school. I got the opportunity to play at the collegiate level down at Stetson University down in Florida. After I graduated from Stetson, I landed my first job in China. So I lived in China for a little bit. Had a little bit of a run-in with the law in China while I was out there. And that led to me being arrested and jailed 14 days in one of their penitentiaries. After I was released, came back to America, got into writing my first book, 15 Days in Beijing, which is just pretty much the story of what happened. And had major success, went number one in multiple genres. So I continue to write more books and started my own publishing company. And now I coach people through the writing and publishing process as well. So yeah, it's a journey, man. That's a little bit of who I am.
So how exactly did you get the job, and how did you end up in jail? Like, what was your...
So I applied for the job. I can't remember what site I was using, probably like Indeed or something. Yeah, I applied. The interview process is pretty simple. Of course, we did it virtually. After about like a few days passed, they said they wanted to move forward with me as a candidate. And mind you, up to this point, I had been applying for jobs for about 8 months straight, and I kept getting told no. First job to tell me yes is on the other side of the world. So I was like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is what we finna. I was teaching kids as young as 3 years old all the way up to about like 12. But it was mainly elementary school age range that I was working with. And it was harmonious. Like China was quite an experience. I was in Beijing, so it's a pretty big city. And the best part about it was, of course, I enjoyed the work. I enjoyed the kids. That was fun. But just traveling and exploring Beijing, like I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I live in China now, so it's a whole different world. So just exploring the city and meeting other foreigners, all different types of walks of life. So yeah, it was a great experience overall.
How is China different than the USA, just like culturally?
It's so different. One, there's no such thing as personal space. So that's pretty big here in America.
Okay. Yes.
Think about the most outlandish ones. Yeah, personal space is big here in America. There, not so much. Like most foreigners, they'll walk up to you and just take a picture with you without, you know what I'm saying, asking, or they'll touch your hair or touch your skin and stuff like that. So it's just different in that aspect. But they're very traditional people, very disciplined. It's one of the safest places you can live. You ain't got to worry about no crime whatsoever. Hard workers, tremendous hard workers. They work, everybody from kids to adults. Kids going to school, like after they get out of school, it ain't like you just go home and just hop on the game for the next 6 hours. Like, you got tutoring sessions you got to go to. You studying English outside. You got sports you play. You know what I'm saying? They keep kids pretty busy as well. So they're very hardworking people. Food is phenomenal. Food is phenomenal. Yeah. It's It's a beautiful place, honestly. It's a beautiful place.
Yes, a Chinese or a Japanese thing.
I would say Japanese.
Okay, I was gonna say because I'm one of the few people my age that has never had ramen noodle because I didn't stay in a dormant college. So I subsisted off of Chick-fil-A and my parents' home cooked meals, which I was very lucky to have done. So I have never had a ramen noodle, and but I hear authentic ramen, like real ramen, is the bomb. So I've always wanted to try real ramen. But since that is a Japanese thing, I didn't know if it was Chinese or Japanese. So
We still eat it in China, so you're gonna find noodles everywhere in China or in Asia. So everybody has their own style when it comes to noodles, but every
did
ramen
you
that they do.
did, did you try? Did you get to go to Japan and try any ramen?
Nah, I wasn't able to do too much far traveling outside of Beijing. Of course, I moved to China. Like I was living over there, supposed to live over there for a year. So like, it took me about 2 months just to fully get it adjusted. Of course, we had to find our apartments and all this to go through training. So yeah, it took a little minute for us to get adjusted. But once we got adjusted, it was smooth selling. But it was like we didn't really get to get into it for things went left.
Let's go to how did you end up in jail?
It's April 4th, 2019. It's a day off for me. I'm finna get ready to head to an event to meet some friends at, and before I go, I pregame. So for those that don't know what pregaming is,
Yes, it's like drinking before you go and drink. Yes.
I'm pre-gaming at the apartment by myself, chilling, smoking a little cannabis. I get dressed, make sure I got everything I need before I walk out the door, and then I hear a knock. Look through the peephole. There's 3 officers from the Beijing police. They come in, question me about drugs. I'm sitting here playing fool. I don't know what they're talking about. They drug test me right there on the spot. And once they pulled the drug test out, I was like, okay, yeah, it's over with. So drug test, yeah, drug test me, failed the drug test, of course. So now the cuffs are on me. And at this point, all communication stops. So I don't know what's gonna happen, where we're going, how this thing gonna play out. I don't know. I'm just like, clearly I'm figured out. Just sit tight. So just bounce around from precinct to precinct before I eventually end up at the jail where I was housed. And I was locked up 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 15 men to a cell, 9 wooden beds, 3 soups a day, and all I had was a plastic bowl and a plastic spoon. Um,
Dang.
yeah, and nothing has been still. I'm at this point, and I don't know, still don't know what's going on, like how long I'm gonna be here. I don't know what my charges are. I haven't been able to speak with anybody, so it's really not looking too good. But accountability, had to hold myself accountable. It's like I can't be upset about. Well, I can't be upset with anyone based on the circumstances when I made a conscious decision to do what I did, and I knew the repercussions from it. So now that we're here, hey, I just got to bite this bullet and just know I'm gonna be. I knew I was gonna be good. I just didn't know how it was gonna play out. So shit. After about 14 days, They finally called me to come on and took me to my apartment, pack up the rest of my stuff, and then straight to the airport.
Wow. So you just got kicked out of there?
Oh yeah, immediately. Immediately.
So how are Chinese jails different from American jails? You're probably like, let me count the ways, but
Yeah. So I guess the cells itself, I guess most jails have pods. So you got this section for these types of inmates, this section for these types of inmates. And that jail might have been designed like that. I don't know. But most jails have pods, and pods is like a common area with the cells, each individual cells inside the pod. This one is just one cell. It's a hallway full of cells. And each cell, I say, is probably about for 12 yards in length, about 10 yards in width. So it's not really a big cell, it's just like a big little box. It's wooden beds that stretch across to the back of the cell. It's like a nice little walkway in the cell that makes an L. Bunks, The bathroom is inside the cell, but all the walls are made of glass, so everybody can see inside the bathroom.
Dang.
Yeah, ain't no sense of privacy whatsoever. One is, and it's only one sink. It's a squat toilet, so pretty much a hole in the ground you got to squat over, and then one shower, which was a water hose with a shower head. That's to it pretty much. There's one window in the cell. At the back of the cell, you got there's one TV mounted on the wall right above the door, cell door, and it's a camera in the corner of the room, sitting up high, capturing the entire room. So that's pretty much the whole setup of the cell.
So, did you get to know any of the other inmates that you were like incarcerated with?
The first 3 days, I was the only foreigner, only English speaker. So it really wasn't a whole lot of communication that was had. But it was one individual in that first cell that I was able to build some type of bond with. And even though we couldn't like verbally communicate, like we communicated through minds and gestures and stuff like that. So, and I was able to learn a lot about him just from doing that. So me and him got real tight, but then he left on the third day. And on day 4, I was moved to a different cell. And that's where I was amongst other foreigners, 2 English speakers. One was a Chinese American, the other one was a Brazilian from Brazil. And the third one was a Russian from Russia, but he didn't speak English. But that's when I got to really have conversations and meet those guys and learn about their background. And they both spoke Mandarin as well. So it's like I can communicate with them and the other Chinese inmates because I got translators. So yeah, you get to learn about all the different characters and the different people that I was locked up with.
That is the next question I was gonna ask. Like, was there translators at least?
Yeah, they definitely held it down too. And I was able to start making sense of how the jail operated as well, because evidently now that I'm communicating and I'm learning everybody's situation, everybody knows all their information to the fullest detail, what they're arrested for specifically, how many days they're supposed to serve, the whole nine. So I'm like, well, how am I the only one that don't know? But they teaching me at least how the process works essentially. So I'm like, okay, I'm learning as I'm going, but I still don't know how much time I got or how long I'm going to be here.
So what's their like court process like, or did you get to know that?
None of that. After with the first precinct, then we went to the second precinct. They doing interrogations, have me sign paperwork and all this stuff, and now we at the jail. Like that's it. So it's like it wasn't no standing before a judge or a jury. It wasn't none of that. So
did you like know what you were signing, or did they just decide this?
Sign this. They jump. I said, how high? I'm following orders. I'm being compliant.
So yeah, luckily they were. It sounds like to me they were upstanding and didn't get you to sign for some murder that they were trying to solve or something. That's what I would have been afraid of. It's like, oh God, they're gonna get me for something. I gotta spend like 50 years in the airport.
That's sure, yeah. But I just have faith. I'm just gonna do what they say because I already done violated. So if I try to put up an uproar and be aggressive, nah, you don't want to bring that type of energy because then they can match it and
yeah.
And I'm out here in a foreign country too. Nah, we're gonna walk this line.
Yes. So what did you do after you got back to America, and like how did you tell your like friends and family about this whole thing? Like
I was really, once I got back to America, I honestly didn't tell nobody I was back. If I ran into you, then you knew I was back then. But I made it seem like as if I was still out there in China. But I really just taking time to myself to really figure out what's my next steps, because I done lost everything in 2 weeks. So now I got to refigure out just what I'm going to do. So it's just a process. And then I started writing a book around the summertime. So that gave me a lot of drive and something to prioritize and work on. So, yeah.
so what made you want to write a book besides the obvious of just like having this crazy experience?
I knew I wanted to do something with the story as far as just telling it, but I didn't know how I was going to go about doing that. One day I was hanging out with one of my good friends, DeMarco Reddins. He was a traditionally published author before we graduated high school in 2014. So
holy cow.
Yeah, so he was like, "Hey, bro, you didn't think about writing a book about the experience?" I was like, "Man, that's a good idea. I don't know where to start, but that's a good idea." And he took it further. Took my phone, went to my notes section, and gave me a little outline, and I just started filling it in. And with me doing that, I caught a flow for how I wanted to tell the story. So I moved it to a Google Doc so I could finish typing it up. 4 months later, it was written, and then spent the next 6 months just getting ready for publishing.
So how was it to write a book? Like, what was that like?
It was fun, honestly. As I'm just telling y'all the story, like what happened verbatim from start to finish. So it was just really replay. I'm like, okay, just replay the entire thing from what happened from starting from the day, from the time you woke up, and just told y'all this just telling the story. And I originally just wrote it down like I was writing a long text message to a friend. So just to get it down on paper faster, because I know if I was trying to stop and edit it and make sure the grammar is right and the punctuation, that was gonna slow me up. So I was just writing the text message, and then once I got it all down, I just went back and just kept going back through it, editing it up, cleaning it up, and more memories would pop up. Oh, I add more to the story. Yeah, it was a fun process for sure. And it's like this is something I'm actually creating, and I just started to love the process more and more.
So now you guide other authors through the publishing process. Tell me what that's about.
So of course, with 14 days going crazy, I got a lot of questions and a lot of outreach from people in regards to like writing and publishing books. It was crazy to me that how many people aspired to, you know what I'm saying, write a book one day or, you know what I'm saying, become an author. This is just an idea that was given to me. So it was like, I really ain't think of it, anything of it. And it was so simple to do. So people asking me questions about it, giving them all the game I got. I've worked with countless people. I've only had two people though that saw the process all the way through, and not only did they see the process through, especially the way I like to go about publishing books, both of their books went number one as well. So that showed me, it's okay, you got you a nice little formula because you did it yourself, and you was also able to do it for two people who actually finished and saw it through. Hey, this is something we can make some shape with. I was like, I'm okay, I'm just gonna create the services, coaching people through the process. So that's how that started.
So where can people go if they want to get the book or your services? Or-
Visit my website, publicationsllc.com, to access or schedule consultation for aspiring authors. Or y'all can reach out to me on Instagram, all my social, I'm very active on there. Google my name, Chancellor K. Jackson. Literally everything you need will pop up. Website, social media accounts, other podcast interviews I've done. My books are available on Amazon as well. I got a new book dropping this Friday, April 11th, titled The Power of Becoming, 7 Pillars of Growth and Empowerment.
Yes, tell us a little about that.
Yeah, so pretty much like a personal roadmap to wholeness. It's themed around 7 core values: love, discernment, success, happiness, adversity, healing, and confidence. And it's a book full of quotes and insights that will help guide you through adversity, revolutionize your happiness, amplify your confidence, you'll build an unshakable sense of self-worth, nurture healthier relationships, and stop limiting beliefs on thyself. I'm really excited about it because it's a whole different lane prior, you know what I'm saying, compared to
Yeah.
the first 3 books. So yeah, y'all go get that. The Power of Coming, 7 Pillars of Growth and Empowerment.
And we'll have all the links to everything people need in the show notes. Anything you want to add before we get off here?
Just want to leave you out with this quote before we close off. And it's by Nipsey Hussle. And it goes, long-winded, running through this life like it was mine. Never settling, but setting every goal high. 1,000 burpees on the path to my own self-destruction or success. But what is a mistake without the lesson? The best teacher in life is your own experience. And none of us know who we are until we fail. They say every person is defined by their reaction to any given situation. Who would you want to define you? Someone else or yourself? Whatever you choose to do, homie, be your heart to it and stay strong.
That is amazing. What song is that from?
I do this.
Okay.
I do.
Yeah, those rappers are pretty amazing with what they can put into a song. Again, we'll have all those links in the show notes. that you need to follow him and keep up with him. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell if you're on YouTube or Spotify. And we will see you guys next episode. Bye, guys.
Thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed the show. Remember to follow the show and our guests on social media and subscribe. Be sure to hit the bell so you'll get notified when we upload new episodes. See you next time.